You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome, everyone. Today, we're aiming to cut through some of the noise in, well, the pretty fast-moving world of DevOps, and platform engineering.
Yeah, things change so quickly.
Exactly. So we're pulling out the key stuff from recent updates, trends, opinions, even tutorials. Basically helping you get up to speed on what actually matters.
And it's not just about what's new, but the so what. Why does this change matter? Giving you that context is really what we're aiming for, thinking critically about the impact.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First up, something interesting for developers using Pulumi resource hooks.
Ah, yes, the hooks.
So what are they, basically? They let you run your own code, pretty much any code, at different points in the Pulumi resource lifecycle.
Right. So think create, update, delete operations on your infrastructure. You can hook into those moments.
Which sounds powerful, like custom callbacks for infrastructure ops.
It really is. The flexibility is key.
Yeah.
You could say set up an SSH tunnel automatically when something spins up, or maybe push metrics straight to a data warehouse.
Okay, practical stuff.
Yeah, and the sources had a great example. Using a hook to health check a web server like an EC2 instance before Pulumi says, okay, deployment complete.
Oh, I like that. So it checks if it's actually working first.
Exactly. That's classic shifting left-right. Catching problems during the deployment, not, finding out later when users complain.
So it embeds the validation right into the workflow. Makes sense.
Yeah, proactive assurance, not reactive debugging.
Cool. Okay, sticking with the theme of keeping systems robust, there's a really important heads up for AWS CDK users.
Oh, yes, the Node.js one. This is crucial.
Right. AWS is ending support for Node.js 18.x on November 30th.
And that's because Node 18 itself hit its end of life back in April. So the clock's ticking.
So what's the action needed? Upgrade, presumably.
Definitely. Migrate to Node.js 22.x. That's the current active long-term support version. And honestly, this isn't just good practice. Well, sticking with an unsupported version means no more security patches. Plus, you miss out on performance boosts and newer Node features. It's really about maintaining a secure and modern system.
It sounds pretty non-negotiable then. Don't wait on this one.
Please don't. We've all been there, right? Scrambling at the last minute. Avoid it here.
Okay, noted. Moving on from tooling updates, let's talk infrastructure evolution, especially for stateful workloads. Databases in Kubernetes is a big one.
Huge. And PostgreSQL is really making waves there.
Yeah, the stat was 36% of database workloads on Kubernetes are now running PostgreSQL. That's significant.
It really is, especially when you remember how tricky stateful apps used to be considered in K8s. But platforms like Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS, are adapting.
How so? What are they offering?
Well, for storage with PostgreSQL on AKS, you've got choices. There's local NVMe for super low latency and high throughput needs.
Right, for performance critical stuff.
Exactly. Or you can use premium SSD v2, which gives you more flexibility and cost efficiency for scaling storage independently.
Okay, options are good.
But the really interesting part, I think, is the role of Kubernetes operators, specifically cloud-native PG in this context.
Remind us what an operator does again.
Think of it as an automated admin for your app inside Kubernetes. For PostgreSQL, Cloud Native PG handles things like setting up high availability, automated failover, backups, all natively within Kubernetes.
Ah, so it makes running complex, stateful things like Postgres much more robust on AKS.
Precisely. It shows these cloud-native platforms are really maturing to handle demanding stateful applications well.
That's a big shift. Okay, last topic. Let's zoom out a bit to something more strategic. Policy as code. Why is this being called a game changer for platform engineers?
Yeah, game changer gets thrown around, but I think it fits here. It's about automating how you enforce policies, security policies, compliance rules, best practices.
Automating enforcement. How does that change things?
It embeds compliance directly into the development workflow rather than it being a separate, often manual check later on. You define policies as code, and they get applied automatically.
So less gatekeeping, more guardrails built in.
Exactly. It empowers platform engineers to provide environments that are secure, scalable, and developer-friendly. You get speed and safety because the rules are part of the system from the start. It's proactive governance.
Okay, that ties a lot together. So we've covered quite a bit. New developer tools like Pulumi resource hooks, that critical Node.js update for CDK users.
Optimizing stateful workloads like PostgreSQL on AKS using operators, and then the strategic view with policy as code.
A real mix from the tactical to the strategic.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. How do all these pieces, which seem kind of separate resource hooks, node versions, database storage, policy automation, how do they actually fit together?
I mean, how do they collectively shape things?
Yeah. How do they shape the future of building and running software securely and efficiently? And importantly, as we adopt these new tools and practices, what new challenges or maybe unexpected interconnections might pop up? Something to think about.
Spoken Tech for your ears.